Hello learners, welcome back. Let's solve another 5 questions which has been previously asked in the GATE examination. So here is goes our first question. The first question states that a fine-grained soil has 60% by weight of silt content. The soil behaves semi-solid when the water content is between 15 to 28%. The soil behaves fluid when the water content is more than 40%, and we have to find the activity of the soil. So there are two concepts involved in this. Let me first explain about those two concepts and then we will solve the question. So first it says that it is a fine grained soil. So we must know the fine grained soil consists of two things, that is silt and clay. Silt plus clay are together known as fine grained soil. Now it says that it contains 60% silt. Then obviously the percentage of clay will be 40%, because the fine grained soil consists only of silt and clay. This was the first concept. And the second concept is that the soil behaves semi-solid when the water content is between 15 to 28%. For this, we must know about the consistency of the soil. So this is the volume of the soil and this is the water content of the soil. And this is the graph for the volume versus water content of the soil. There is first zone, this it is known as solid zone, this is known as semi solid zone, this is plastic zone, and this is liquid zone. So soil is in solid state in this zone, and as the water content increases the soil behaves semi solid. Those who don't know about this concept can go through my playlist soil mechanics concepts, where I have explained this in a very great detail. So this is plastic zone and this is known as liquid zone. And the water content at which the soil converts from solid to semi-solid is WS. The water content at which the soil converts from semi-solid to plastic state or from plastic stage to semi-solid stage is known as plastic limit of the soil. And the water content at which the plastic soil converts to liquid state or the liquid state of the soil converts to plastic soil is known as liquid limit of the soil. So these things are known to you. Now it says that soil behaves semi-solid when the water is between 15 to 20%, 28%. So that means this WS is 15%, WP is 28%, and the soil behaves fluid when the water content is more than 40%. That means the liquid limit of the soil is 40%. So this was a conceptual question. You must know about these concepts, then only you will be able to solve the question. Now we have to find the activity of the soil. The formula for activity of the soil is activity of soil IP, that is plasticity index by percentage of clay in the soil, percentage of clay in the soil. So what is IP? IP is the plasticity index and it is the difference between the liquid limit of the soil minus the plastic limit of the soil. Now once you know about the liquid limit and plastic limit, you have to just put these values and you will find the answer. So I have told you what is the liquid limit of the soil and what is the plastic limit of the soil. It is given in the question but not directly, but it is given indirectly. Now the liquid limit of the soil is 40%, the plastic limit of the soil is 28%. So you simply put these values, 40 minus 28 by what is the percentage of clay? The percentage of clay is 40%, which was also not given directly but indirectly. It said that the percentage of silt was given and you have to find the percentage of clay first. So we first found the percentage of clay, then we identified what is the liquid limit of the soil, then what is the plastic limit of the soil based on the statements given in the question, and we put all these values to find the answer. So let's calculate this answer. This is very easy. It will come out to be 12 by 40. This is 4 3s are 12 and 4 10s are 40, that is 0.3. So this is the answer. Option number C is the correct answer. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question states that A water content of the saturated soil and the specific gravity of the solids were found to be 30% and 2.7 respectively. Assume the unit weight of water to be 10 kilonewton per meter cube. The saturated unit weight in kilonewton per meter cube and the void ratio of the soil are. So we have to find the saturated unit weight of the soil, and next we have to find the void ratio of the soil. And what are the given data? The given data is water content of the soil. That means W is given to you. It is 30%. What is specific gravity of solids? Specific gravity of solids is given as 2.7. And we have to assume that the unit weight of water is 10 kilonewton per meter cube. So very easy. I have already told you about the formula that you must know, that gamma, that is gamma bulk, is equals to gamma W G plus ES by 1 plus E. Since the soil is saturated, degree of saturation will be 1, and formula will be gamma saturated is equals to gamma W G plus E by 1 plus E. Now the problem here is we don't know what is the value of E. So we have to find out this value of E first. For that we will be using another relationship, that is ES is equals to WG. So what are given things here? We have to find E. Degree of saturation is not given, but it is known that degree of saturation will be 1 because it is a saturated clay. Now W is given to you and G is also given to you. So from this relationship we can find the value of E first. So E is WG, that means 0.3 into 2.7. So what is the value of E from here? The value of E is 0.81. Now once we got the value of E, let's check what the answer is. There is only one option where the value of E is 0.81. So the moment you find the value of E, you can find the correct answer. This is the trick for solving gate questions or any competitive exam questions. But since I'm teaching you, I have to solve the other part of the question as well. So let's solve the other part of the question. So gamma saturated is gamma W, that is 10 kilonewton per meter cube. What is the value of G? G is 2.7 plus E, that is 0.81. And what is 1 plus E? 1 plus E is 1.81. So you will put all these values and you will get the answer. So 2.7 plus 0.81 will be 3.51 by 1.81. So it comes out to be, let me use the calculator, 3.51 into 10 divided by 1.81. So it comes out to be 19.39. So 19.39. So option number 1 is the correct option. So let's move on to the third question. The third question states that the void ratio and the specific gravity of solids are, these two datas are given to you. First of all, let me write it down. The void ratio is given as 0.65 and the specific gravity is given as 2.72. The degree of saturation, we have to find the degree of saturation in percentage. So let me just mark it as in percentage. I have to find out. So this will be very helpful during the exam if you write such things, so that you make sure in what units the question is asking you the answer. We have to find the degree of saturation in percentage corresponding to the water content of 20%. So very simple, water content is also given in percentage. Now you just have to find S. So we'll use the only relationship which we are using for many times, ES is equals to WG. Now you don't even have to convert this W into fractions because the answer is demanding you in percentage. So you simply put these values. E is 0.65, S and W is 20, and what is the value of G is 2.72. So degree of saturation will be 20 into 2.72 by 0.65. Let's calculate this. 20 into 272 whole divided by 65, and the answer comes out to be 83.69. So this is the correct option. Option number C, 83.69 percentage. Let's move on to the next question. The next question states that a soil sample in its natural state has a mass of 2.290 and kg, and the volume is 1.15 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. After being oven dried, the mass of the sample is 2.035 kg and the specific gravity of solids is given to you. Find the void ratio in its natural state. So we have to find the void ratio. What is given to us is mass of the soil in its natural state is 2.290 kg and the volume is given to us as 1.15 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube. Now, after being oven dried, the mass of the soil solids, you can say 2.035 kg and the volume remains same. And what is the G value? It is 2.68. What we have to find out is the void ratio of the soil. Void ratio. Now we know there are two relationships. ES is equals to WG. There is one relationship, but we do not know about the water content of the soil. We do not know about the degree of saturation of the soil. So the next option is that gamma is equals to gamma W G plus ES by 1 plus E. This is the next option. But here we do not know what is gamma. We do not know about the degree of saturation. So, but what is given to us is mass. Mass of solids is given to us. Also the volume is given to us. So if we take just the dried sample, from this, if we find the gamma means the unit weight of the soil, mass of the solids by volume, it will give us gamma dry. And we know that in dry state the degree of saturation is 0. In dry state the degree of saturation is 0. So what we can do, we can find gamma dry. That means let's put these values, 2.035 by, this is in kg, and 1.15 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube is equals to gamma W. Now you must be wondering what value shall we take for gamma W. Generally we take 10 kilonewton per meter cube, right? Or we take it as 1 gram per cc. There are many unit weights of water in different units, but you should look here in the left hand side of the question. The gamma is given to you in the unit of kg per meter cube. Since the density of the soil is given to you in kg per meter cube, the value of gamma W should also be in kg per meter cube. So what is the density of water in kg per meter cube? You should know this. Gamma W in kg per meter cube is 1000 kilograms per meter cube. This is the density of water in kg per meter cube. Now many students face confusion which unit to use, whether you should use 10 kilonewton per meter cube. If you simply put 10 over here, it will be wrong. You should use the same unit, which is the unit weight of the soil. So gamma W we are going to take as 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, so there is another concept. Now what is the value of G? G is given to you 2.68. So 1 plus E. Now from here we have to solve a little bit and we'll find the answer. So let's do that. This implies 1 plus E is equals to 1000 into 2.68 into 1.15 into 10 to the power minus 3. So divide by 2.035. So this 1000 and this 10 to the power minus 3 will be gone and we will be left with small numbers. So let's do that. 2.68 into 1.15 is equals to whatever it is, divide by 2.035. It is 1.514. So 1 plus E is 1.514. So what will be the value of E? You have to subtract 1 from this. So E will be 514. 0.514. Let's see which option is the correct option. So the correct option, there is no 514 given here. So the nearest correct option is 0.53. This is the correct option. Sometimes you will not find the exact answer. So you have to tick on the nearest option. Let's move on to the next question. Now this is very lengthy question and one of the most important questions. So please pay attention. The question says that the earth embankment is to be constructed with the compacted cohesionless soil. The volume of the embankment is given to you as 500 meter cube. So let me write it down. Volume of embankment. Volume of embankment is 5000 meter cube, and the target dry unit weight is given to you as 16.2 kilonewton per meter cube. So whatever soil is required in the embankment, the dry unit weight of the soil is 16.2 per meter cube. There are 3 nearby sites have been identified from where the required soil can be transported to the construction site, assuming that the specific gravity of the soil to be 2.7 for all the sites. So what is the specific gravity? The specific gravity is 2.7 for all the sites. If the cost of transportation, okay, let's leave what is the cost of transportation is given to you right now. If the cost of transportation per kilometer is twice the cost of excavation per meter cube of the borough sites, which site would you choose as the most economic solution? Use the unit weight of water as 10 kilonewton per meter cube. So look here, whatever is the unit of gamma D, they have given the unit weight of water in the same unit, that is kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, now you have to choose which site you are going to use. Now there is one of the very important concept involved here. Let me first explain you about the concept. The concept is that whatever is the volume of the soil in the embankment, so volume of the soil in the embankment required is 5000 meter cube. But what is the volume of solids? We don't know. Whatever is the volume of solids required for the embankment, the same volume of solids will be transported from the site, because the volume of solids does not change. The volume of the soil can change because it can be loose and it can increase its void ratio. It can be compacted and decrease the void ratio, but the volume of the solids present in the soil doesn't change. So this is the concept behind it. That is, volume of solids for the embankment must be equals to volume of solids for the site. Okay, this is embankment. Volume of solids in the embankment is same as the volume of solids in the site. Now, how we will calculate all these things? We don't know what is the volume of solids in the embankment. We don't know what is the volume of solids in the site. So let's first derive one equation for the volume of solids, and that equation will help you in solving many questions. So let's do the derivation first. We know that the total volume of the soil is volume of voids plus the volume of solids. Also we know that void ratio is volume of voids by volume of solids. From here, can we write volume of voids is equals to E into volume of solids? Now, replacing this volume of voids with E into volume of solids, what we get? Total volume is equals to E into volume of solids plus the volume of solids. Now, total volume of the soil is volume of solids into 1 plus E, or we can write volume of solids is equals to total volume by 1 plus E. Now this is one of the most important relationship which will help you solve many questions. That volume of solids is total volume by 1 plus E. We are going to use this formula for solving this question. Now we do not know what is the volume of solids for the embankment. So let's first find out what is the volume of solids for the embankment. So what is the volume of the solids? The volume of solids will be mass of solids by density of solids. And this density of solids is not the dry density, because this dry density is dry mass of the soil by total volume of the soil, but not the only volume of the solids. But here we have to find the volume of the solids. So volume of the solids will be mass of solids by density of solids. Okay, but we do not know either mass of solids or the density of solids. So mass of solids can be written as dry density, it is without water, so dry density into the volume of soil. So it will give you the mass of solids, because this density consists of only the density of the soil without any water or air. So if you just multiply this dry density with the total volume of the soil, you will get the mass of the solids. Now how will you get this gamma s, or the density of solids? We know that density is G into gamma W, that is specific gravity of solids into the density of water. If you multiply these two, you will get the density of solids. Now we know what is the value of gamma D from the question. Gamma D is given to you as 16.2 kilonewton per meter cube. We know the volume of the soil, it is 5000 meter cube. Now we know what is the value of G. G is given to you as 2.7, and we also known as what is gamma W. From these four quantities we can find volume of solids required in the embankment. Let's put them and we'll get the volume of solids. 16.2 into volume of total volume of soil. Now the total volume of the soil is will be same as the volume of the embankment. Okay, what is the value of G over here? G is 2.7, and what is gamma W? It is 10. So let's just calculate this. Let me use the calculator. It's 162 divided by 27, whatever is the answer, into 500. So it is 3000. So the volume of the solids required is 3000 meter cube. This is the volume of the solids required in the embankment, and that will be same as the volume of solids from site X, site Y, volume of solids of site Y, and volume of solids from site Z. Now just now we have derived the equation that volume is equals to, volume of solids is equals to total volume by 1 plus E. Now we know that volume of solids is 3000, and that will be same for all the three sites as well as for the embankment. This volume of solids is not going to be changed. Now from this we have to find this volume. Okay, so E is known for each and every site, volume of solids is also known, and we just have to calculate this V. Let's do that. So let me write it for site X. For site X, what is the volume of solids? Volume of solids is 3000. Will be the volume of soil to be transported from site X to the embankment is V, and that is volume of soil from site X. So let me write it Vx by 1 plus E. What is the value of E? E is 1.6 over here. So 1 plus 0.6. So Vx will be, that is volume of soil to be transported from site X, is 3000 into 1.6. So 16 threes is 48 meter cube. So from site X we need to transport 4800 meter cube of soil in order to get 3000 meter cube of solids. Let's calculate same thing for the site Y. So for site Y, 3000 is equals to volume from site Y by 1 plus this void ratio. Void ratio is 0.7, so it will be 1.7. So Vy is equals to 1.7 into 3000. So 17 threes is how much? 51. 51 meter cube. And same thing for side Z. Let's calculate this for side Z. Side Z, 3000 must be equal to volume from side Z by 1 plus E. What is the value of E here? Volume of E, value of E, that is void ratio, is 0.64. So Vz is equals to 3000 into 1.64. That comes out to be 4920. 4920 meter cube. Now our task is not yet over. We have to choose one of the sites, but not only on the basis of these quantities. We have to include the transportation costs as well. Okay, so it says that the question says that if the cost of transportation, if the cost of transportation per kilometer is twice the cost of excavation per meter cube. Suppose the cost of excavation for 1 meter cube is X. So let me write cost of excavation is equals to X per meter cube. Therefore cost of transportation will be how much? 2x per meter cube, sorry, per kilometer. This is given in the question. See here, if the cost of transportation per kilometer is twice the cost of excavation per meter cube of the burrow pits, which site would you choose? Now from this you have to find which site will you choose. So let's calculate for site X. Again, for X, for site X, we'll calculate the total cost. So total cost of excavation will be how much? 4800 into X. 4800 into X. This is the cost for excavation. Now what will be the cost of transportation? The distance is 140 kilometer. So it is 140 into 2x. It is the cost of transportation. So if we calculate it, what we will get? 4800x plus, so 4800 plus 280, how much will you get? It is 5080x. 5080x. Now same thing for Y. So for site Y, the cost of excavation will be 5100x. 5100x. And what will the cost of transportation? It will be 80 kilometer. It is given as 80 kilometer into 2x. So this comes out to be 5100x plus 160x. So that comes out to be 5260x. 5260x. Now for same thing for side Z. For side Z, it is 4920x. 4920x plus, how much is the distance? Distance is 100 kilometer. 100 into 2x. What you will get is 4920x plus 200x. So this comes out to be 5120x. Now from these three quantities, whatever is the minimum quantity will be the answer. So from this we can easily see that 5080x is the minimum quantity. So we will be choosing site X for our excavation. So in this question many concepts were involved. The first concept was that the volume of the solids remains same no matter if the volume of soil can change. So this was the prime concept. We learned how to calculate the volume of solids and we derived one of the equation. This one, volume of solids is equals to total volume by 1 plus E, which we used thrice, and that was the most important thing. So that's all for today's class. Do like and follow me for more, and Don't forget to subscribe to channel. Bye bye and have a nice day.